What up, dog? Shimon. Hey, it's the What Up Doe, the What Up Doe, the What Up Doe Show. Yo, yo, yo. What up, Doe, y'all? What's going on? It's your boy T. Wilson, and I am live on a Wednesday morning. Wednesday is turning into Freestyle Day because, yes, Latone, I know you're nervous, but Latone Heart, it is on like Donkey Kong. Freestyle Challenge Part 2 today, y'all, so make sure y'all stay tuned to the end of the show because, you know, y'all know the story by now, but if you don't, I'll recap it a little bit for you before we get going, but we will get back to that. First, let's get our birthday shouts in the books. I got Damali Keith. She's a television personality, Damali Keith. Natalie Skinner. Asar Imhotep. I probably butchered that name, but I'm sorry about that, Asar. My bad. And then I got two people that I really got in touch with, but I grew up with, go way back. Rhonda Ross, the beautiful Rhonda Ross, just grew up right up the street from me, man, just in the next block. And last but certainly not least, a homeboy of mine I graduated high school with, lives here in Houston now. We hang out every now and then. My boy Doug Turner, yo, big up, so big up Doug. He got the Old English D for Doug as his profile pic. You know, if you're a Facebook friend, you know that. So that's my homeboy, and Rhonda's my homegirl. And on that note, I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. Man, I'm too excited right now, man. It's a big day, man. I'm too excited. We want to get things going pretty smooth. I want to thank y'all for listening to the What Up Doe Show this morning. This is your boy T. Wilson, the What Up Doe Show, your commentary on sports, entertainment, and alternative news. And let's get this party started. I want to say a big up real quick to 12:30 a.m. KCOH in Houston. We had a meeting yesterday, so we may have a huge announcement for the What Up Doe Show. We may be coming to the airwaves live on the radio here in Houston, so that'll be a good thing and a big deal for me. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I think I needed a transition before I started into the What Up Doe Sports. But for Houston Texans fans, y'all got something to smile about, man. It looks like Jadeveon Clowney is living up to the hype so far, man. Yesterday, he gave onlookers at training camp something to shout about when he flashed off the line like a rocket. It was reminiscent of the hit he did on my man over in Michigan because he got into the backfield before the play took shape, and he pulled up when you could see it was obvious that running back Dennis Johnson was about to get demolished. You can find a video on YouTube. Somebody recorded it, actually put it on Twitter. But I mean, he would have absolutely demolished it. If you get a chance to peek that out, check it out. So it looks like Jadeveon Clowney just might be the truth. And everybody else in that division better be afraid. Be very afraid. If this guy is the real deal, be afraid. I'm serious. Anyway, Andre Reed told it like it really was. He told everybody how he felt yesterday. Man, this cat went off. He talked about Johnny Manziel. He was asked about Johnny Manziel, and he was asked about John Bon Jovi, alleged intentions to move the Bills to Toronto. And I'm just going to quote him, man. That's the whole story is just his quote. Because I love it. And by the way, there's profanity in the Freestyle Challenge, so it's already in. It's a fixed game. Profanity is welcome today. So, it's already in the books, so we may as well just go for it and tell it like it is. So when he was asked about Johnny Manziel, Andre Reed's response was, "Who the fuck is Johnny Manziel? LeBron ain't your guy. You're not Johnny Football. You're Johnny Rookie Bitch." You are Johnny Rookie Bitch, is what he said. They'd boo that motherfucker out of here in Buffalo. The fans would put him in his place. As for John Bon Jovi, Reed says the rock singer and his supposed intent to move the bill to Toronto can go straight to hell. He said, quote unquote, "Man, fuck Bon Jovi. You may as well just take this city, throw it in the river, and let it go down Niagara Falls." Tell us how you really feel, Andre. Tell us how you really feel. I love that. That's what it's all about right there. That's how it should be. People are so scared to tell it like it is these days because of Twitter, the media. We don't want to get my words twisted. If you don't want to get your words twisted, then go ahead and tell it like it is. Don't be afraid to say what you mean and mean what you say, and let them be offended, because for some reason in the media the truth is looked down upon. So everybody gotta talk in cliches, because if you tell the truth or tell it how you really feel, for some reason that's considered bad character. You're out of line. You're out of line. Speaking of out of line, ESPN is yanking Stephen A. Smith off the air. He's suspended for inflammatory comments he made about women and domestic violence last week. The network says Smith will not appear on First Take or on ESPN Radio until next Wednesday. During a discussion about Ray Rice's suspension, Stephen A. said he would tell women to make sure they're not doing anything to provoke, quote unquote, to provoke wrong actions, in addition to telling men what not to do. This morning on First Take, Smith apologized, and ESPN released a statement. When I say this morning, I mean yesterday morning. And ESPN released a statement saying, "We will continue to have constructive dialogue on this important topic. Stephen's comments last Friday did not reflect our company's point of view." The network continued, "As his apology demonstrates, he recognizes his mistakes as a deeper appreciation for our company values." Smith's comments also infuriated fellow ESPN anchor Michelle Beadle. She's yet to react to his suspension. Who cares what that bitch thinks? But anyway, I partially agree with him, and I get where he was going, and I get why he has to apologize for it, though. At the same time, I get why it's problematic. It's a very sensitive topic, and I know he's accustomed to making candid comments on sensitive topics, but when it comes to domestic violence, and there's just certain topics you really have to be extra careful on. And women shouldn't provoke men. I mean, you should not do it, but in this case it kind of implies that she did, and that's not fair. But you really shouldn't. There's no, there are different levels of provocation, of course. I mean, it's hard to define it. I mean, you got a guy coming home saying, "Man, the next person say boo to me, I'm gonna bust him in the face," and then he gets home and his woman says, "Hey boo, did she really provoke him when he bust her in the face, or was it really just his attitude took that as provocations?" But there are people that would poke and nag, and you shouldn't do that. And not saying that you would deserve what you get if you get socked in the mouth, but you shouldn't provoke it and egg it on, almost daring, because some women like dare guys to do stuff. You shouldn't do that. And I'm not saying that it's cool, but I kind of understand where he was coming from, but I also understand ESPN's point of view, because the company as a whole has to be a little more careful. Ray J has a new song where he is basically shelling out his regrets from the past. He has a song called "Never Shoulda Did That." He confesses and sort of apologizes for a bunch of stuff. He has a line that's going to catch the ear of Kim Kardashian and her husband Kanye West, where he says he regrets fucking bitches on camera. Shouldn't have did that shit. Of course, he's referring to the sex tape with Kardashian. He also cops to taking drugs, fighting in clubs, yelling at friends, and cheating on his girlfriend, Princess Love, who makes a cameo appearance seemingly as the drunkenly weeping voice on a voicemail. Actually, Ray J may sing about it, but his bank account screams otherwise because he's making a lot of money still off of the Kim K Superstar video. It made him popular as more than just Brandy's brother. And frankly, of his songs, I still like the one, I hit it, 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 I hit it first. In Muskegon Township, Michigan, a man allegedly decided to drop acid and take a trip down to a local pizza place while only wearing a tile. Staff members at Happy's Pizza weren't so happy when the unnamed suspect showed up because he allegedly had a gun and 3 children with him. He had more stuff than clothes. The 27-year-old man began banging on the glass at the front of the pizzeria, and his gun went off. He may have been angry about the fact that they would not allow him to eat at the business in just his tile. Wearing a towel, packing a gun, and 3 kids. No, sir. You're not welcome here. Put on some clothes. No one was injured, and the man walked home after the gun discharged. Just walked home, just chilling, in a towel, with the gun in hand. Police found him sitting on his porch with a .40 caliber semi-automatic in hand. Officers asked him to drop the weapon, and he complied. According to Muskegon Township Police Chief Ken Sanford, the man admitted to have taken 4 hits of acid before the incident. Stop doing drugs, folks. Okay? Stop doing drugs that make you do stupid shit. Popping mollies and be sweating. I hate when that happens to my explosion, the little half explosion. It drives me crazy. In Middletown, New Jersey, a New Jersey wedding looked more like a scene out of Gangs of New York when a 300-person brawl broke out over the weekend in Middletown. Police were called to the Jacques Reception Center on Sunday by 2 off-duty cops who were working the event after a fist fight broke out. Arrests were made and the reception was ended about an hour early, leading to guests screaming, pushing, and urinating outside. This couple was just made for each other. The crowd spilled out into the parking lot and continued to become more and more aggressive. A woman was arrested for disorderly conduct, and a man was taken in for obstruction and disorderly conduct. Screaming and cursing like you wouldn't imagine would be coming from a wedding. Witness Jay Sigelko told What Up Doe News, weddings are supposed to be a nice, classy type gathering, and this was not. Oh my God, they were fighting and screaming and cursing and oh my God, it was horrible. More arrests could have been made, but police decided it would be more effective to disperse the crowd instead of bringing everyone in. Tempers flared and minor disputes became major disputes. So, with that many people drinking and involved, sometimes it just gets out of control. They're good people. We just let them go, said Detective Stephen Dollinger. There's no pictures, but by that comment and that response by the police, I have to assume these were not black people, because they would have hauled all those niggas in. And that's the fact, Jack. In McKees Rock, Pennsylvania, a love triangle was believed to be the cause of a street fight in McKees Rocks that involved a naked woman and several other alleged combatants. It's not clear how the naked woman was involved or how she became naked. No one knows if she stripped her clothes off because she fights better naked, or if someone stripped her clothes off of her so she came running out saying, "Dog about it, I don't care if I don't have clothes, I'm going to whoop some ass." But at least 5 people from 2 separate areas in the buildings were involved in a mutual combative situation. The nude woman entered the fray and then allegedly started stabbing people. She stabbed or slashed 3 of the combatants before fleeing. The victims were treated for lacerations, puncture wounds, and sore eyes because they said the woman had saggy tits. All 5 of the known combatants are looking at charges, and it's possible that they will be evicted. Yet the naked jabber is still on the loose. And so are her saggy boobs. And it is now time for your Netflix movie review. Okay, that one was my fault. I messed that one up. Anyway, I watched the documentary. I mentioned it yesterday, and I finished watching it last night. I actually watched it from the beginning all over again. It's a documentary called The Central Park Five. I love documentaries, and I don't know if you do or not, but The Central Park Five was a very, very good documentary. Oh man, it's a frustrating documentary. It will anger you, and sadden you. Even in triumph, in the end, where there's triumph, there is still tragedy. I mean, what it's about, it was in Central Park, a woman was brutally raped. And police needed an answer, and they needed an answer fast, and they arrested 5 kids. 4 of them were black, 1 of them was Latino, and they arrested them and just kept them and held them. These kids had no idea why they were being held, but they started questioning them, and they pressured them and kind of coerced a confession to make them say, hey, if you tell this story this way, we'll let you go. So in order to leave, after being held for like hours and hours and hours, for more than a day, without sleep, food, water, they did what the cops asked them to do, and they told these stories that the cops told them to tell. The cops fed them these stories, and they told these stories just so they could go home. Well, these stories ended up being the only evidence against them in the court of law, and they were all convicted because the story created such an outrage in New York that everybody wanted their heads, and they were all convicted and sent to prison for a lot of years. And they were kids, man. They were like 14, 15, 16. And the one was 16, so he had to go to Rikers. I mean, it was horrible story. And then only to have some guy years later who should have been a suspect because he did something like 2 days before that. He raped somebody. And he was never a suspect because there was no turning back. Because the snowball effect of the arrest of these 5 kids got so big they couldn't turn back. It was horrible story, man. And this guy one day just felt bad, and Rikers told the guy, man, I apologize to you because you guys are serving time about that for a crime I committed. And then he started telling other people, and it eventually got out, and his story just made all the sense. It tied up all the loose ends from the original story. And now everybody wants to look back and realize why these other kids' stories looked coerced, but the cops never got in trouble. The prosecutor still was the bitch that she was. And we're talking about, well, it doesn't matter if they didn't do it. They were with that guy, I'm sure, before he did it. And, oh, man, it's just a horrible story. It's a horrible commentary about how bad the cops can treat people. I was reading some of the comments from other watchers, and this person, I thought, put it best. They said, it is infuriating that cops and prosecutors can get away with stuff like this without repercussions. I agree wholeheartedly. And it happens almost every day in America. It happened to me once. I'm going to say that, folks. And this is me speaking. It did happen to me once. Not to this extent, but I was railroaded once by the police. I really had a lot more respect for cops before that happened because I could not believe how dishonest and they were just to protect themselves and each other from the wrongdoing that happened to me. There was a lot of lies in their report, and I was just blown away. I was dumbfounded. So going on with the commenter said, with the work of the volunteers with the Innocence Project, hundreds of people have been exonerated due to DNA evidence. Thank God there are people who care about justice, not just convictions. Cops and prosecutors who railroad innocent people and ruin lives should do jail time. I agree wholeheartedly, and this film brings that to light. And I know I was talking about getting into these movie reviews going fast, but this one deserves a lot of attention. It's called The Central Park 5. You can stream it on Netflix. You should check it out. I gave it a 4 out of 5 just because I was so offended and so hurt by the story and the fact that there was no resolution in regards to those that did these kids wrong. Because, yeah, the kids got exonerated, but you can't take back the time they lost, the childhood that they lost, and the years they lost while they spent prison time wrongfully in their youth, man. 15 to 14, from ages 14 to 20 something, their lives were just taken away, and there's no repercussions for that. I mean, there's no, you can't have that back. And then those that were responsible for doing this were protected by the law in the aftermath. Yes, okay, the kids get off. They were wrongfully prosecuted, but the prosecutor's okay. We protect her. And the cops that coerced the statements, we protect them too. In the aftermath of even finding out that all of their, what they did was wrong, they're not punished. Even though these kids that did nothing wrong were. It hurt so much that I could not give this film a 5. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get that involved, didn't know that I would, but that's my Netflix movie review. And now let's move on with your feature presentation of today. Yes. It's Freestyle Challenge Part 2. Round 1 of the Freestyle Challenge. For those that don't know, Latone Hart of the 730 Show. The 730 Show, fantastic show. It can be heard on Spreaker.com and iTunes. He issued a challenge to me, a freestyle challenge, and I answered. Well, first I said I accepted, and then he didn't do anything. He made me go first, even though it was his challenge. That was okay. So I went first, and I brought it a week ago. You can find that one. It's called Freestyle Challenge Accepted. And then he made a song. I made a song called Bitch of the Week, which was hot. And then he made a song to come back at me. It was called What Up No. And that was his response. And I let my boy J-Dog hear it, and J-Dog said, man, that don't even warrant a response. Just leave it where it is, because you blew him out. It wasn't even close. But I'm sorry, J-Dog, you don't understand. It goes on anyway. Okay? It goes on anyway. Yeah, round 1 was a lopsided victory for the What Up Doe Show. It was a 10-8 round for the What Up Doe Show. But the battle goes on. I won the battle, but I haven't won the war. So it goes on. So here we go, folks. Round 2 of the Freestyle Challenge. Today's song is called Devil's Night. Yeah, baby. Freestyle Challenge Round 2. Devil's Night, baby. Devil's Night edition, baby. Burn this motherfucker down. What up, though? What part of the game is this? This is the lamest shit you ever came to me with. You want a freestyle challenge? I release my talents and we'll see who's silent when I claim this bitch. It's time to change the game a bit. It's time to hang this kid until it's tangled in. Rope strangling, feet dangling. Let me name something to you that's stranger than a nigga from Wisconsin. Nothing. Let it go, Tone. You need to back down. You rapping Mad Town, nigga? How does that sound? You banging rats now. I'm still hitting dimes. And I was getting mine before you ever spit a rhyme. You can't fade me, cause time made me. And I was trying to grind when crime paid me. They used to say we wouldn't see another day. We didn't give a fuck, we still cut daily. Smoking bay leaves and drinking bay leaves. And I was rocking around before the fucking 80s. You got the rabies, you get no's and maybes. I got ladies trying to have my babies. You trying to play me? Nigga, is you crazy? Many men greater than you try to slay. You wanna burn this motherfucker down. If you wanna burn this motherfucker down. The What Up Doe flow. What up, Doe flow?
What up, Doe?